Yeah, we want to make sure that if you haven't already checked out that statement.
Update.
Update. Take two.
Well, hello, New Life. It's good to be here with you. Chris and I are together on his front porch with doing the services, and all our families have more or less been quarantining together. And so we wanted to come down here and get a little bit of a different perspective. And it's a little cool out this morning, but we are out of the wind.
Thankfully.
Yes, and so it's a good place to be. And we just wanted to come and talk with you a little bit about the update that the elders put out yesterday.
Yeah. And if you haven't already checked out that update, please go to either our app or to the website. It should be on Facebook as well. And we want to make sure that you've read that for yourself. But we want to just kind of talk about it and try to help you navigate where we're thinking as a congregation. The elders and staff met on Monday night. And honestly, we had all last week had a hope that the restrictions were going to be really starting to come back, but that just wasn't the case.
Yeah, and I think all of us are agreed. We want to get back to meeting, physically meeting as soon as we possibly can, but we just can't do that right now.
Yeah, there's a real concern about, we want to make sure that we're meeting together and we're being the church. But it's also important that we are being a good example for our community, and we just, at this point at least, don't think it would be wise for us to have a full-fledged service with everyone back together quite yet.
Right. We're still at that point, I believe, where if we were to meet together, it would be perceived by our community as going against the general welfare, rather than being a help and a service.
Or that we just don't care.
Or that we just don't care.
And that's just not the case at all. We care very much. We want everyone to be healthy, and we want everyone to get through this experience as quickly and as well as possible. But we also are concerned about everyone's spiritual needs, and that's where the leadership right now is, and we're trying to navigate that and try to figure things out.
So there's three kind of main points that they made in this update. The first one is that for the time being, the church building is going to stay closed, except for the live stream services and those who are there for that. But we wanted to tell you a little bit about what's going on behind the scenes, as it were, in the building. Greg Sharp, our custodian, has been coming in regularly, and he has been working his way through the building, just really trying to sanitize everything.
Yeah, and that's a big job. I mean, obviously we know we have a good-sized building, and so just to try to stay on top of things with that anticipation that when we are able to meet again, everything is going to be kind of clean and ready to go. So we appreciate Greg very much and his work that he continues to be doing to make sure that things are... so anytime we have a live stream or anything like that, he makes sure that things are wiped down. We try to do that some as well, but he's doing just a fantastic job.
Yeah, and I mean, think about every chair, every table, every toy in the children's areas, all the walls, all the switches, light switches. I mean, just absolutely everything.
And that's a concern that we've got, that we've got to figure out when we do start meeting publicly again.
Right.
We've got to try to stay on top of that, and to ask one man to do that, we're just going to have to come up with how to do this the right way.
Yeah.
But we're not there yet, but so we are keeping the building closed right now. The staff is still working from home, so make sure if you need to call us, you can leave a message at the building, but be easier certainly to call us on our cell phone or text us or something like that.
Right. And it's probably a good thing we're not ready to open the building, because right now the auditorium is looking more like a TV studio.
It's crazy. I said that several times, that when I come in there, two things. It makes me sad, just because, we know that we're not going to be able to be together. But the other thing is, I've done a little bit of TV work in the past, singing and stuff, and it feels like a TV studio right now.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a lot more lights. because that's better for the camera. We have things that we were using a few weeks ago that are stepped off to the side that we might be using again. We got a black background that we would never use right now, that goes along with our logo and everything. So, but it just is feeling very weird. Sherry printed up those pictures, and that helps. But again, it's not the same, and so that's kind of where we're at right now, and just looking forward to what's next.
Yeah. Well, and it's important, and actually it's the second thing on here, is that the live stream is going to continue. This is going to be a permanent part of who we are and what we do from here on out.
Yeah. I've had a lot of questions about that. Are we going to continue the live stream when we do reopen? And that is the plan. We appreciate Drew has been working tirelessly to kind of figure this out, and Isaac has been on the board, and they've been doing just a great job. But we've kind of figured out a lot of things. We've come a long way in just a short amount of time, so it makes sense for us to continue to do that.
And we've had a lot of other people that are more than willing to jump in there.
Yeah.
But we've been very, very purposeful in trying to limit the number of people, trying to not expose more people to each other than necessary, and all those things.
Basically, up to this point, we've had 3 families. Your family, my family, and the Sharp family. With Amber being there to help with worship and things. And so, we've been very intentional about that, and we're hoping that as restrictions and things start to loosen, that we'll be able to start bringing in more people. But we've been doing some greetings.
Yeah.
We've been really excited about that and looking forward to doing more of those, just so that when the live streams are going on, it's not going to be just the same 5 people.
Well, I think everybody misses each other, and so there's a value in having those videos, even if it's nothing more than just saying, "Hi, good to see you," to be able to see faces.
Yeah.
And I know to be able to see the faces of the families that have done it so far, it's just been an encouragement, brought a smile to my face.
Makes a big difference.
And I'm looking forward to continuing with those as well.
Yeah. So the live streams are going to continue. We're going to keep planning on doing Sunday morning and Wednesday. And the cool thing about the live streams are, as soon as we are finished with that live stream, it is there. And so you can go back and check it anytime. And we were just talking a little bit ago that we'll have somewhere between 80 and 100 on a Sunday morning that are viewing at that time at 9 o'clock. But then by the next Sunday we'll have a couple hundred more. It's kind of been the average. So we've kind of stumbled on a good way of reaching out, and I think that was one of the things that we said here in the update, was that we've stumbled on a way to hopefully be outreaching.
Yeah. And just so you all are aware, we're hosting all of our videoing from YouTube. So you can go to youtube.com and search there for New Life Belleville, and you'll find our channel.
Right.
And it has all of the Sunday morning services, all of the Wednesday stuff. It's got the few morning devotions that I did before I managed to have an interaction with the squirrel. And that's all there, available to be watched at any time.
Yeah. So if there was a certain Wednesday night service, a certain song that really meant a lot to you, go back and watch it again. And we've been doing all kinds of songs. We've been singing more than what we had sung before, and so that gives us an opportunity to do some old favorites and some new songs that we normally wouldn't do that many new songs on a Sunday morning. But please go back. And if there's a song that you've been listening to that has really been encouraging you, don't hesitate to give us a text or email me, and we can see if we can maybe work it in. No promises. It takes a lot for me to learn new stuff. So.
All right. Well, the third point, and this is really the big one, in the elders update, is that the elders have said what they'd like for us to begin to do is on Sunday mornings to gather together in groups of 10 in somebody's home and watch the service, the live stream together, whether you're watching it live or whether you're watching it at a later time in the day. And then you have an opportunity to pray with one another, to have a little bit of that fellowship together.
Have communion together.
Have communion together.
Be praying, together. The biggest thing, we've talked a lot about how technology has helped us a lot to be able to keep doing services and stuff. But technology doesn't replace that fellowship and that praying together, and just the things that we need to be as Christians. And so now that restrictions have gone from groups of 5 to groups of 10, we're wanting to start encourage. Now we want to be very clear about this. If you are uncomfortable or your health is compromised in some way, there's no pressure here. We just encourage you to keep doing the live streams as a family at home. But if you're able to start thinking about, want to be with maybe your D group or a part of your D group or a Sunday school class or just a group, maybe it's the pew that you normally sit with, on a Sunday morning.
And if you want to wear a mask or whatever, keep that 6-foot distancing. Hey, that's great.
And if it works out that you can be on a porch or something like that, that makes it even easier.
Yeah.
But we just want to try to encourage you to start coming together.
I think I've sensed amongst people there's somewhat of a fear even. We've had so many days of listening to the TV and the medical people and all tell us about keep your distance and all these things. I think that there's a hesitation now.
There is.
To get together. And so what we're asking you to do is not to go meet with 10 random people every week, different ones, but to form a group of 10 that you continue to meet week after week with, as long as we have to do this.
Yeah, and it does two things. One, it keeps that group that you're going to be, for lack of a better word, exposing, each other.
Right.
It's going to keep it smaller, but it's also going to keep a consistent group that you can be praying for each other. If one week before you have a prayer concern, you can follow up. And we do this with small groups, D groups, and Sunday school classes. Yeah. It's just trying to we're starting small. In fact, one of the things that we were talking about was, try to keep that group of 7 or 8 new life folks, and then be intentional about a neighbor, a friend, a coworker, a family member that you can invite that is struggling. The truth of the matter is, a lot of times when stuff is going on, that there's a struggle and people are looking for answers, they'll go to a church service.
Right.
And we don't have that right now, so we need to find this opportunity.
I've had a couple of people that tell me that, so-and-so, their friends are watching this online now or whatever.
Right.
Those might be the exact people to ask, that they could come and be a part of your group of 10 and that you could fellowship and worship together.
Yeah, and so when we see in the New Testament, we see this concept of small groups and house churches.
Yeah.
But really what that is the church did not have church buildings for a couple hundred years. And so they used wherever they could meet, whether it be at a home or by the river or, in Jerusalem there at the temple. They would just meet together. And that's what we're asking is if you can and if you're comfortable, just meet together as a small group and be able to watch the live stream and have some fellowship and be praying together.
Yeah. Well, know that we are continuing as a church leadership, as a staff, as an elders, to pray for you all, to try to reach out and touch base with as many of you as we possibly can. And if you have a concern, if you have a prayer request, if you have a need, please reach out to us so that we can encourage you and be there for you in the midst of that. But it's been great to have this little time together, and just pray that God will bless you.
Yeah, and we also pray that God will bless this as an opportunity. We keep looking at this as the negatives, but I am convinced that God's going to bring good things out of this difficulty.
Amen.
And so we just are going to keep praying for that. Keep praying for all of the leadership, for the elders and staff, as we're just doing our best. None of us were ever trained to do things quite like what we're doing right now.
Didn't have a class in pandemic.
There is no pandemic class in Bible college, but we appreciate your prayers, we appreciate your love, and we just look forward to seeing you one way or another very soon. So God bless you and keep you.
All right.
All right.
Amen.
See you next time.
Cut.